I am seeing you. What a prolific statement. I'm seeing you, meaning you are the manifestation of the God. Didn't they say somewhere that you and I are image of that Lord? Didn't they say that? My friends, how is the Lord manifested? Madhubana mein Shama bhulao, Madhubana mein Shama bhulao. Could we all stand a little bit as we welcome our dear President into our audience? Welcome, sir. Madhubana mein Shama bhulao, Madhubana mein Shama bhulao,
Madhuban mein Sham bhulao, Madhuban mein Sham bhulao.
Our humble welcome to you, Mr. President. We're very delighted to have you here tonight, and we hope your short stay with us will be enjoyable. So as we were saying, Ma Yashoda opened the mouth of baby Krishna and she saw the entire Brahmanda, the entire universe spinning in his mouth. She blacked out because it was a sight that was beyond her every imagination. And so, like that, Bhagavan Krishna revealed himself on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, his Virat Swarupa. Where is this God, you might want to ask? Because in that battlefield, on that battlefield were two armies ready to war. One for righteousness and one for adharma. They were ready to wage this great Mahabharata, the greatest war the world has ever seen. My friends, even the gurus stood there, but they could not see Bhagwan in his multifaceted, most amazing form. They couldn't, because he had a special vision, a special, it's called Drivya Drishti, divine eyes. Now, can we see that God? Can we see him? As I said, when you worship and you have devotion, the hairs on your body stand on end. Tremor comes into your skin. Your spine is as if it rises in energy. Sometimes in meditation, you become this universe. This is what Goswami Tulsidas tells us in the beautiful Chaupai. Shri Ram says, Lord, how do I worship you? Should I worship you as a manifested form, or that which avyakta, which doesn't have an existence, or which doesn't have a physical existence? Should I worship you with attributes, or that which is without attributes? Bhagwan Ram in Ramcharitramanas Goswami Tulsidas tells us, Binu pada chalai. God has no form, yet He is formful. He has no form. Binu pad, without legs. Chalai, He travels. Because when the devotee is in distress or turmoil and you call upon Him, He comes to your rescue. Sunai binu kana, without ears, He listens. So when you place your petition at Him, to His door, He listens. That is why we pray. That is why we all pray with our hearts. He doesn't have form, but He can hear your prayer. He can hear your sankalp. He can hear your petition. He can hear your distress and your disease. Whatever you have in your heart, He can hear it. Sunai binu kana, karam binu kara binu. Kara means hands. Kara hands, binu without hands. Kara binu karama. Today you go around the world and you see magnificent buildings and artifacts that you can only mesmerize about the capability of the human being. So when you look at your own being, aren't you dumbfounded? Can you think? Your eyes can't see, so doctors have devised glasses that allows you to see. Prior to that, have you ever thought about this gift that you have that you can see with your eyes? Who gave you that? Isn't it that you and I were born out of a tiny dot, like Shunya that the Ved talks about? A little tiny dot is what is the genesis of this that you and I have. From that two little minute microscopic, seemingly insignificant cells. Yes, from those two cells you have all this expansion happening until what? Until you have this body. My friends, look at your organs. Karabinu karama. He doesn't have hands, but He performs so miraculously. Just look at your autonomy. Look at your own body, and you'd be mesmerized. Look how your kidneys are working, Mama. Can you imagine? Hey, look how your kidneys are working. Look how your lungs is able to separate this air and give you energy. Hey, in creation, in manifestation, there are two principles. One is the material cause and one is the efficient cause. You don't have to tell your kidneys to filter your blood, do you? You even know that you got two kidneys? Just imagine. Yes, but there is an intelligent principle inside of you. I don't know what it is. I will never say that I know that God, but I've seen His power. The fact that I can flick my finger like that, a dead man can't. What makes me able to do that? Some intelligent principle inside of us. Just imagine two little cells after 9 months become 2 hands, 2 legs, brain, heart, lungs, kidneys. What is behind that, Baba? Please tell me. I mean, if you see a little book, you must conclude that somebody or something is behind this book. A book will never appear like that to me. You can't have cook-up rice if you just get rice and dal and whatever else. If I give you all the ingredients and I put it on the table, that makes a perfect coca price. Can you give me coca price? Yes. I know President loves to cook. If I give you all the ingredients, hey, and tell you, because there is an intelligent principle that permeates these trillions of cells, that permeates every speck of existence, that otherwise we call the God. I don't know him. I don't know what he looks like. Is he an old man? Is he in heaven? I don't know. But I know through some magnificent power, all these things are happening. That is why when Ramakrishna Paramhamsa faces Swami Vivekananda, Vivekananda says, have you ever seen God? He says, yes, I see God. You are standing in front of me because you are the very manifestation of the God. Sahasra Shirashaha Purushaha. All our heads are but the heads of God. As I said, didn't they say man is born in his image? So I'm a perfect reflection or representation of him potentially. So my dear friends, so that God, that principle that we call God, Arjuna asked, should I worship you like the murtis, having forms and attributes and color and qualities? Or should I worship you as being unmanifest, without shape, form, description, and so on? How should I worship you? Lord says, worship me with your heart to that which is suitable for you. All he says, Maya Vesha Mano Yemam. Give me your mind. Mama, what God wants? Nothing. Because he's full. Hey, it's you and I who are limited. And in order to exude or to overcome this limitation, we depend on him with our devotion. By devoting ourselves to him, then what happens? As I said last night, there is fire in wood. There is God in me and in you. Can you see that fire? No. Because the fire in wood is dormant. It is sleeping. It is latent. Yes, fire in wood is latent. Can you deny, can you dispute that there is fire in wood? You can't. Because even though you can't see it, even though God is not manifested, you cannot deny his existence. If he make this complicated structure, you got forget the wherewithal and the know-how to make a price. There's no voice. He sounds and he's resounding in your heart in the form of conscience. He talks to you. Conscience is inside of you. That is the God who is alive in us. Alive in us. As I said, in every particle of this universe, he's alive. Just close your nose for 1 minute. Close your mouth and close your nose for 1 minute. You die. Why? Because the life is in the breath out. Just close to the nose, that's what you breathe. Because life is there. Life begets life. So the bottom line is, God is alive in us. He's alive in us. As I said, if you believe in gravity or you're not believing in gravity, who cares? Is there gravity? If you take the thing or you believe or you don't believe, doesn't matter. We're all bound by that force. Similarly, if you recognize the God in your heart, or you fail to recognize, it doesn't matter. As we said, like an engine, it is so powerful. Look at an engine, how powerful and the potential an engine has. But what? An engine will do nothing for you and nor for me unless you start it and you connect the transmission. And when you do that, what happens? It will take you to where you want. And if you abuse the process, what happens? It will throw you in the ditch. So my dear brothers and sisters, tonight, this is our little message to you. God is alive in all of us. Unconsciously, when you're sick or you knock your toe, what you holler? God. Not true? Why you call on God when something is happening? Pass by the maternity ward and you hear how much God is there. Not funny. But then is when we remember, when we are all facing dilemmas and trouble, that is when we remember Him. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. He says, all of you remember God when I be in the jhanjat. When jhanjat stick in us, then we are remembered to call upon the man. When they fail the exams, or when the girl gone away and take somebody else, then we call upon the God. Dukh mein sumiran sab kare. All of us remember God on happy times. Sukh mein kare na koi. And when good things happen, you forget them, Baba. Enough fear. Do you think it's fear? Jo sukh mein sumiran kare. But he who remembers God when he is happy, dukh ka he ko hoi. Unhappiness never comes to that person. So how do we find that God? How do we get the fire out of the wood? You have to ignite something. And that ignition is called devotion. Everybody hear that? What is that ignition? What brings the God out in us? Devotion. And let us all, as we conclude. Darsan do ghanashyam. What are we asking Him for? Oh Lord, reveal yourself to me. I said, religion is a call to humanity. That is religion. Religion is not to be practiced in your private parlor and chambers. Religion is not to be done in the Gurudwara and the temple, the mosque and the masjid. Religion should come from the heart, as I said. It's a call to humanity. It evokes and it brings the humanity in us. This is Sanatana Dharma. Let us go. Darasana do ghanashyam, nath more akhiya pyasi re.
Darshan do ghanashyam, darshan do ghanashyam, nath more akhiya pyasi re. Darshan do ghanashyam.
This forum is a very special forum when we can sit like a family together. It's a wonderful privilege. Ram kripa binu sulabh na soye. We cannot have this privilege without the Ram kripa, without the grace of God. Binu satsang. Without congregation with holy people, we can never vivek na hoy. That discriminative capability is impossible. And that is only possible to be in satsang with God's grace. So I want you to sit properly for me, yes? And I want you to pray, right? This is the essence of tonight's discussion. I want you to pray with your heart. Don't look at me. Look inside of yourself. Okay? Hold on to His feet. Hold on to His name. Hold on to God, however you see. Vyakta, avyakta, manifest or unmanifest, doesn't matter. If even you can't visualize anything that is divine, imagine the feet of your mother and your father, because they are our earthly gods. Hold on to it as we meditate. Darsan do ghanashyam, nath more akhiya pyasi.
Darshan do ghanashyam, darshan do
eyes are so thirsty to see you. Akhiya pyasi re. Therefore we pray, reveal yourself to us.
घनश्याम नाथ मोरे अखिया प्यासी रे दर्शन दो
Through your grace, O Prabhu, even the dumb speaks most eloquently. Pangung lang ghayate girim, the most inaccessible mountain, can be reached by he who is lame. Through your grace, therefore, we ask, O Lord, may you ever bestow in our hearts love, and perpetual love to your feet. May he inspire us, may he bless us most abundantly with his love. Prem se bolo Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Guru Maharaj ki, Satya Sanatana Dharma ki, Jai Jai Sita Ram. I thank you.
Let us all put our hands together for Reverend Vyas, full of energy. Normally when a man of thick skin speaks to you, but very thin and simple, and he sits there and riveting with his words of wisdom. At this point in time, I'd like to ask my senior brother, Pandit Krisho, to introduce the Honorable His Excellency President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. So Pandit Krisho will introduce the President, and he will take it from here.
Thank you, Panditji. Reverend Vyasji, fellow Pandits, sisters and brothers, Jai Sitaram to all of you. Panditji has given me this very, very difficult task this evening to introduce His Excellency. His Excellency, let me, on behalf of all of us here, extend a warm and sincere welcome to you once again. You're no stranger to this country. You're no stranger to this community as well. And this privilege is a very distinctive one to introduce you. But I just like to say to the people of this country, this community here, His Excellency has been within the people of this country. He has been in every corner of this country. And like Panditji said, and we all know, he's a man who likes to cook. So he's been around, he's been in all kinds of activities, in every situation in this country. And so he's so popular, he's been a household name for all of us in this country. And it's my great privilege tonight to ask His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Franali, the President of the Republic of Guyana, to come to the microphone. Thank you.
This one? It's okay? Respected Pandit, respected elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sitaram. Let me first of all thank you for this invitation to be here tonight. And I'm sorry I was not a bit earlier to listen to what was a remarkable presentation. So ensuring that I learn from the presentation, first of all, on behalf of all of us, we'd like to thank God that we are here and we are given this opportunity to be here together, okay? But you know, devotion is different when you are in the collective. You can say a prayer at home, you can say a prayer anywhere. But when you are here together in devotion, it signifies something different. It signifies a different journey. And that devotion as a collective speaks to removing the selflessness among each of us to collectively bring what is good for all of us. And just imagine the power of that. If everyone who come here tonight remove the selflessness that resides within ourselves towards a collective objective of bringing what is best for the collective, what a different world it will be. If everybody were to remove biases that we bring onto communities by our own thinking, if we remove those biases and we only inculcate the values that would be of the greatest benefit to the collective family of humanity, what a different world we will live in. And that is why, whether it's the normal service in the temple, whether it's a satsang or a jag, it has tremendous significance in ensuring that devotion translates into consciousness. And that is something that is fundamentally different. Devotion must be able to translate into the consciousness of the people, making you conscious about different things, conscious about your responsibility as devotees, conscious about your responsibility in the Dharma, conscious about your responsibilities in the society. So devotion seeks to open up the mind to a level of consciousness that allows you to process things differently. And we live in a world where many people can say they are in prayerful devotion. But when you look at the consciousness of those persons on everything that surrounds them, then you ask yourself, what is the consciousness that devotion opens up? So if we leave here tonight, and the first thing when we go home, we quarrel with the neighbor, then where is the consciousness? If we leave here tonight after this devotion, and we go and all enjoy the bhojan, and then we throw our mess down on the ground, do not put in the garbage, then where is the consciousness of the devotion? If there is someone within our family or a neighbor who needs some help, and we have the capability of helping them, but we do not help, where is the consciousness of the devotion? So that is why, but consciousness, let me step back. consciousness must be built from a certain level of enlightenment. As we heard, we all have that ability to be enlightened. But when you come to programs like these, enlightenment comes from various aspects of devotion. It comes from taking you to a happy place, listening to the bhajans. It comes from meditation. It comes from the message that is delivered. It comes from just being among each other. Being able to share this space with each other. You know, many times you go into buildings and people share this space together, and you'll be surprised to know that there are many people within the space who are not talking to each other. Or many people within the space who are harboring ill feelings for each other. You cannot enjoy the fullness of devotion and consciousness if that is what is with you in this space. So that is why sometimes it's important, as you occupy this space, first of all, you remove all the burdens that is with you in this space. Whether it is burden of conflict, burden of bad feelings among each other, enjoy the devotion by first of all removing those burdens. So this consciousness that is developed through devotion, and this consciousness that is nurtured through enlightenment, is not only a religious consciousness. Because that is where the problem comes. When we believe our responsibility in the temple is to the temple, and the consciousness we develop is about the temple alone, or the mosque, or the churches. The development of the consciousness must then translate into societal values. It must then translate into building stronger communities, societies, and country. So, and I know many of you here who take principal position. If people are going to steal the elections, and you stand up against those who will steal the elections, you're demonstrating the consciousness of what devotion gives you. You're demonstrating the consciousness that was developed in you through devotion and enlightenment. And that is why in our country, in our world, in our society, when we meet in these gatherings, we must also discuss current affairs. Because it's important to the consciousness of people. When the world is dumping so much food and still people are going to bed hungry, something is wrong with the consciousness of society. So, in developing this consciousness, I want to respectfully and humbly position. In developing this consciousness that comes from devotion, it is important that we all understand that in a country like ours, in a world like ours, we have to play our role too. We have to play our role too. Because you can build the best parks. If people don't care the parks, then there is no consciousness about the value that is built. You see, you have some brilliant young people here. I know many of them. They can be as brilliant as they want to be, all these young kids. But if the brilliance is not converted through enlightenment into consciousness, then it will be static. How they utilize the gift of education, how utilize the gift of knowledge. You ever see how some people utilize the gift of knowledge? Some people take the gift of knowledge and tell you that 32 is more than 33. Some people, they're so knowledgeable, they're hotshot lawyers. By G. They're hotshot lawyers. And their gift of knowledge would be to destroy society to the extent that they will tell society 32 is more than 33. Some people's gift of knowledge is so intense that they say we are doing the best for society. But your children were getting $10,000 and because we care grant, we can take this back. But in their head, they're doing good. They would close an industry, send tens of thousands of people home, but in their head, they're doing good. And guess what? On the side, you will have people who are supposed to be conscious clapping this along. People who should be conscious. There's a joke that I always remember. One politician, you know, politicians are funny people, went to leg one. And he said to the people, for all these years, these people in government, they never give you electricity. When I become president, I will electrocute the entire island, and everybody clap. So we have to be careful. That is what consciousness allows us. That is what consciousness allows us to do. It allows us to detect what is bad for a community, what is bad for a society. It allows us to detect what is not good for our children, what is good for our children. Who are giving more, who are helping the elderly more, who are helping the children, who are building the community. Of a government that understands that this is important for the community, not only for Enmore, but for the entire East Coast Demerara. That is a level of consciousness, understanding that there is an important need for health care and investing in that need. Understanding that every time you build a road, the value for your homes go up, you live a more comfortable life. That's a consciousness of social infrastructure. And here, we understand the growth that is taking place. In your community here at Enmore, you will have one of the largest industrial estates being built. We are already putting the infrastructure in. Many big companies are already coming here. They will be building their factories and their plants here. That is a consciousness of what is required to sustain life, to improve livelihood, to create better condition, and to give you a better life. And that is the consciousness that we're talking about. Understanding that devotion leads to enlightenment, and enlightenment leads to consciousness, and consciousness leads us to better decision making. So my dear friends, I don't want to repeat or go over a second sermon, but I want you to know that collectively we have to be aware of our environment. We have to be aware and conscious about all those who influence our environment. We have to be aware and conscious about all those who try to narrate the story. Because if you look at some of the newspaper,
they're trying to rewrite history. So we have to be conscious also about who and what is narrating the story. And that, my friends, I don't know why to bring this. I'll start back now. You see, it's the consciousness of the boys. GPL has built them so good that they're conscious they have to walk with a backup. But don't worry, we're fixing that. We are conscious about all the problems that this has brought. But you know, when we came into government, we met a system that was completely at the bottom. There was no investment in the transmission, no investment in capacity, so we have to build back from the bottom. And our consciousness will allow us to invest in making it better for you and ensuring that all the people live a better life. So my friends, tonight, I want to congratulate the leadership of this Mandir, congratulate Pandit Harish, his family, all the families here, all the young, and one thing I'm so proud about here tonight, the number of young people you have here tonight. Put your hands together, please. Tonight is a Saturday night. You know, Saturday night fever. Saturday night fever is not normally in the temple and the mosque and the churches. But that level of consciousness that you have been able to instill in these young people make me very, very proud. That level of consciousness in these young people to want to be part of this tonight is also something that is very admirable. So together, let us all work so our conscience can work in the interests of people to create a better country and a better world. I thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much on behalf of all of us. Honorable President Dr. Mohammed Irfan addressing us and sharing his words of wisdom. At this point, let me once again ask our dear Vyas to have a few more words, and after which we'll prepare to go straight into RT.
Thank you. So I'm not going to be doing a sermon here, but it would be remiss of me if I don't tell you about the young man who just spoke to you. I have it in my notes. When he just came to power, I told him, I sent him a message. I said, you are sitting on the cusp of being one of the greatest men in this country. And may I say, he is well on track to fulfilling that mandate. I remember many years ago when Dr. Chetty died and his casket was being taken across this country. We recognize him as the father of this nation. But believe me, and I'm saying this, I'm not sugarcoating, but I mean this, that our president is a very wonderful man. He has the interests of this nation, and his policies and plans transcend all communities and barriers. There's something that he's discussing right now that I believe will make us all proud. And I guess in due time, Mr. President, in due time, everybody will know. You know, he is very conscious about, and he uses this word continuously, conscious about religious freedom, religious tolerance, and religious striving in this country. Yes. And he has been demonstrating that he's a leader for this country for all. And we wish to thank him most dearly. Retain on the same path, and may God continue to guide you and protect you and keep you healthy as you forge nation building in our dear land of Guyana. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Vyasji, at this point, we shall all, let me invite you for us to stand for arti. In the meanwhile, our boys, they're trying to get the songs back restored.
जय 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 भागवतम, जय 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 भागवतम, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से, जय 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 भागवतम। हे अमर ग्रंथ ये मुक्ति पंथ है, पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। ये अमर ग्रंथ है मुक्ति पंथ है, पंचम वेद निराला, नव ज्योति जगाने वाला। हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, हरि ज्ञान यही वरदान यही, जग मंगल की है आरती। पापियों को पाप से है तारती, जय भागवत भगवान की। जय 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 भागवतम। ये शांत दीप पावन पुनीत पापों का मिटाने वाला, हरि दर्श दिखाने वाला। ये हे सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, हे सुख करनी है दुख हरनी, ये मधुसूदन की आरती। जय भागवत भगवान की पापियों को पाप।
also with us in the meanwhile, we receive your Aarti and Karapashara. Of course, once again, we'd like to take the opportunity to thank all the cooks. When I say all the cooks, in defeat the fact that we often say too many cooks spoil the pot, but every night the food tastes more better and better and better. So we like to thank the entire kitchen staff and all those who've been throughout the rest of the days getting things done here. Thanks to Uncle Ramesh's family and Aaron's family for once again coming on board and sponsoring this Yagna. Let us ask Amit Awad Ji to make his contribution. Thank you.
जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जय जय रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम
Expressing gratitude and thanks to each and every one of you, and we invite you for tomorrow morning 9:30 a.m. for the concluding session of this Gyaan Yagna. Until we meet again, may Bhagavan bless you, stay good, and be the best version of yourself. Siyam Ramachandra Ki Jai.
I didn't make it.
It will get better. Bandit.
Yeah, love yes with it.
They got rice spoon for the rice. Rice spoon.
Over the car. Vai, Tita, cosa ci